McCabe under fire. Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe testifying in front of the House Intel Committee as part of a growing investigation of the investigators and whether or not anti-Trump biases at Justice and the FBI crossed that line into a concerted effort to subvert the election. This after Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley called for McCabe to be removed. Joining me now is Ron DeSantis. He's Florida Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member. Good to have you here, Congressman. Andrew McCabe, it does appear that he was part of this group in Justice and the FBI. You have McCabe, you have Peter Strzok. You have Bruce Ohr, whose wife was working with Fusion, and he was meeting with Fusion. They were all kind of working together to keep Trump out of the White House. Is it too much to say that?
Well, you have this text message, which is really a bombshell from Peter Strzok, recounting a meeting that they have in Andrew McCabe's office during the election with Lisa Page, who was Strzok's paramour, Strzok, who is the lead agent.
Let me just read that so that our viewers can follow along to see where you're going. I'm sure a lot of them have already seen this, but this is the Peter Strzok email, if we can put it up on the screen. He's writing, I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, and we assume that's Andy McCabe, that there's no way he, Donald Trump, gets elected. But I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about what that insurance policy was, and many people think since all these guys were working on the Trump dossier, that was the insurance policy. What do you think?
Well, here's what I know. We've asked multiple officials in both departments, did the FBI pay for the dossier? Oh, we can't answer that question. Now, if you didn't pay for the dossier, wouldn't you just say, of course we didn't pay for the dossier? We've asked, did you use any of the information gleaned from the dossier to secure surveillance of or anybody associated with Donald Trump? Oh, we can't talk about that. Well, if you didn't use the dossier, you'd say, of course, why would we use a political opposition research document for that? But they won't answer those questions.
But Congressman, let me just stop you right there. Why isn't it possible for the president himself to release all? Can't the president declassify a lot of this?
He could. I mean, I think that some of his advisors are saying because this pertains to the special counsel investigation, if he does that, then he'll get criticized as being meddling or trying to shape that. And I think they view this as he should just stay out of it. They don't have the goods on collusion and just let that come to its end. So I understand that. But here's the thing. There's no reason why Rod Rosenstein or Christopher Wray can't answer those questions for the Congress. Patience is wearing thin. There will be subpoenas if need be, and there will be contempt citations if need be.
Well, Andy McCabe, in addition to the stuff that he did with regard to the election, he was also promoting his wife, who was running for the Senate back in 2015, and he used personal emails in order to promote his wife. Some people say that's a violation of the Hatch Act. What do you think?
You know, I don't know. I'd have to look at some of the law, but I would say this. She was raking in a lot of money from Terry McAuliffe, who's basically a brother of the Clintons almost. He's been with them his whole career. And yet McCabe was intimately involved in the Hillary email investigation. He recuses himself 6 days before the election after almost all the key decisions had already been made. And so it seems like anytime there's a politically charged case and McCabe's involved, that the questionable behavior always goes in one direction.
We had Senator Grassley here yesterday, and he has said that he thinks McCabe should go. He also, though, stipulated that the president should not be the person to fire him. What do you think?
I'd like to see somebody else as the deputy director of the FBI. I think it was the right decision to move Comey out. When you put in Christopher Wray, I thought that's the natural time to make a change in the deputy as well. So I would advise Wray to make that change. And obviously the president has the authority to do it. I understand why they're saying because of the investigations they don't want him to do it. But
right.
Bottom line is having a fresh slate, I think, would be good for the American people.
But you would be against the president firing McCabe?
I would not be against it, but I understand why people would say, you know, let that be done by Wray or somewhere within the Justice Department rather than be a presidential decision. But wouldn't it be good to have somebody that doesn't have all these questions swirling around them in this important law enforcement agency?
Well, there are a lot of questions about whether that line was done. You can always have your own personal opinions. Everybody's got opinions. But whether you use the power of your office, the power of the government to subvert an election, that is crossing a line we don't want any government official to cross. House. Congressman, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.